Sir,
I
I
will.
didn't ask you about any of that. I asked you if you
I
understand that
will. However,
Mr.
you.
Matson, don't interrupt me. I've muted Mr. Matson's device because he continues to interrupt me and not let me finish what I'm saying.
Let me. Let me. Let me. Let me speak to.
I've muted Mr. Matson again because he unmuted himself and interrupted me.
We've got a wild one in court today. This sovereign citizen just will not stop talking. Seriously, the guy doesn't even pause for air. He's in court because he thought skipping out on his probation officer was a smart move. Spoiler, it wasn't. Now he's trying to argue his way out with a bunch of nonsense, but the judge isn't having it. The way the judge shuts him down is honestly so satisfying to watch. What do you guys think about sovereign citizens? How should courts handle them? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoy videos like this, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. Now, let's get into it.
I am required to advise you at all stages of the proceeding that you do have a right to be represented by an attorney, and if you can't afford an attorney, the court will appoint one for you at public expense. Do you understand that?
I don't think you'd be violating your oath of office, Your Honor, by allowing me to the right to a fighting clause.
Sir, I didn't ask you about any of that. I asked you if you understand.
I will, however,
Mr. Matson, don't interrupt me. The question I asked you is whether you understand that you have the right to be represented by an attorney.
I do understand I have a right to be represented by an attorney or not. Yes, sir.
Okay. You've previously waived that right. As I said, I have to advise you that at every stage of the hearing. So I have to ask you again, would you like to be represented by an attorney at this point?
As I started to say, Your Honor, I don't want the representation. However, I will use the help of handling paperwork due to my means here and having access to certain things in paperwork. I will use your court-appointed attorneys just to help with some paperwork.
Okay, so you don't have a right to have the public defender's office do your paperwork or handle any of that. You have the right to have them represent you or not represent you. So that is your choice.
Not represent me, that's fine then.
All right. So you've previously been arraigned on the probation violation. Do you know how you want to proceed? So your options are you can plead to it if you want, which means you'd be admitting guilt. The other option is that I can set it for a hearing and we can have a hearing on the matter, and then I'll decide based on the evidence submitted at that hearing.
Your Honor, all due respect, I wish, are you working under oath of office today, sir?
Sir, I'm not going to answer these questions or deal with this. We've dealt with you before and your sovereign citizen arguments. I've rejected them all. Sir, do not interrupt me. Do you want to have a hearing or do you want to plead?
I'll take your silence under your oath, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you want to have a hearing or do you want to plead?
I want the hearing. I want to go to trial. I want to go within the 90 days to a trial or sooner.
All right. So Sierra will need about a 1-hour hearing on a probation violation.
As well as I'd like you to have the arresting officers that arrested me on that day. I would like their sergeant to be dressed in uniform and at that trial on that day as well, please.
These Zoom court hearings can get absolutely ridiculous. This guy just keeps talking over everyone, interrupting the judge, and honestly acting like he has no idea how any of this works. At this point, I feel like he should be held in contempt because it's just straight up disrespectful. And what's with him saying he needs an attorney just for his paperwork? That's not how it works. Attorneys represent you in court. They are not there to babysit you through forms. I can't tell if he's being serious or just completely clueless. Then, out of nowhere, he starts talking about needing a sergeant at his hearing. Like, what? Is he making this up on the spot, or is he following some bizarre script? Honestly, it just feels like he's wasting everyone's time. I don't even know how the judge stayed so calm because if I were on the bench, I'd have lost patience a long time ago. Eventually, though, the judge does snap back at him, and it's definitely worth watching. So what do you guys think? Is this guy just playing dumb? Or does he actually believe what he's saying? Let me know in the comments, and let's dive in.
I think it will go more smoothly if you are here in person, so we will have you in person here from the jail.
All right, exactly what the hearing is going to be on that day?
So you've been charged with a violation of the terms of your probation.
Yeah.
For failing to report. So the hearing is going to be to determine whether or not you failed to report.
Okay, so it's going to be the trial that day.
Correct.
Okay, can I have the state police sergeant there at that trial?
What state police sergeant?
The state police sergeant of the arresting officers on the night of my arrest.
Who are the arresting officers?
I don't remember the exact names, but any state police sergeant in uniform would do.
Why do you want any state police sergeant to be present at the trial?
Just to show how arrests are made, and why they're made, and how they do the determination, how they bring people into jail.
Well, how is any of that relevant to whether or not you violated the terms of probation?
I believe there's a lot of relevancy there. I don't see where any of it's going to affect the courts in any way, shape, or form.
All right. So the issue that the court is going to determine has nothing to do with things that happened during your arrest. The issue is whether or not.
No, it's not about the arrest. It's about the arrest for the violation of probation as well.
All right. The only issue before the court that day is going to be whether or not you reported. So your arrest doesn't have any relevancy to that. So I'm not going to.
I beg to differ, Your Honor. I beg to differ because the jury is going to be a jury of my peers, and at this time,
sir,
you're not going to have a jury of my peers.
Sir, there's not going to be any jury. You're not entitled to a jury trial on a hearing about violating your probation.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I'm pretty sure that last time I spoke to you, you said that I had the right to a jury trial for determining if I was guilty for a violation of probation.
I've never seen you on this violation of probation.
I've seen you, or I've seen you just the other day, last week.
No, you didn't. A different judge conducted that hearing.
You're Michael Olsaver, aren't you? There was
Judge
Sloan, and then there was you. I've seen both of you.
You did not see me last week.
I did.
And so you're not entitled to a jury trial on a probation violation. So again, we will have you back in person on.
Well, hold up then. So if I'm not entitled to a trial to determine if I'm guilty or not, this is a criminal court, isn't it?
It's a criminal court where you have already pled guilty to a felony and been placed on probation.
Because I was at risk of dying in this.
I've muted Mr. Matson's device because he continues to interrupt me and not let me finish what I'm saying. Mr. Matson, I was saying that this is a criminal court wherein you have pled guilty to possessing a controlled substance, and you were placed on probation. As a result of that, your sentence was to be placed on probation. Subsequent to being sentenced to probation, there was an allegation that you failed to report in accordance with the terms of your probation. That is an alleged violation of probation. There's no right to a jury trial for a violation of probation, so the court will conduct. Let
me speak to.
I've muted Mr. Matson again because he unmuted himself and interrupted me. We will have you back on April 8th at 3:30, Mr. Matson. This hearing is concluded.
Let me know if you guys want to see the second half of this hearing, because believe it or not, it gets even crazier. For some reason, this guy keeps insisting on having a sergeant present at his next hearing, and it makes absolutely no sense. It's almost like he just wants an audience to watch him act ridiculous. The wild part is, this next hearing is literally just about his probation, not even his arrest, so there's no reason for a sergeant to be there. And he wasn't even asking for someone from the local police, he wanted the state sergeant. Like, what? I honestly can't wrap my head around it. In my opinion, sovereign citizens like this should be held in contempt more often. They waste the court's time, talk over everyone, and make it seem like they don't take the judge seriously at all. It's frustrating to watch because it makes the courts look weak, when really, judges shouldn't have to put up with this nonsense. And honestly, Zoom hearings just make it worse. Especially with sovereign citizens or people who clearly aren't all there mentally, I think they should just be required to appear in person. At least in a courtroom, there's structure and accountability. Over Zoom, it just turns into a circus. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I thought this guy was definitely a little off his rocker, not the wildest sovereign citizen we've seen, but still pretty strange. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy videos like this, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.